All right, today is Saturday, September 15th, and I'll be doing this weekly analysis, weekly review of what happened and what I did. So in this week, I had four trades. Um, three trades were wins, and one trade was a break even. And we'll start with the economic calendar. This is not calendar screen, but it's a bit weird. Yeah, so as you can see here on Monday, we had no news. Tuesday was a no news day. On Wednesday, September 11th, we had CPI on US dollar. And then on Thursday, we had Euro news, which was main refining rate and monetary policy statement. And then we had US dollar news, which was PPI. And then at 8:45, we had the press conference for Eurozone. Here on factory, but Forex factory, we don't see anything. But when you go to FX Street, we had Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index at 10 a.m., of which when you actually go and check on the market, it didn't do a lot in terms of the pair euro dollar, but still, nevertheless, it was categorized as a red folder news on FX Street. So I thought it was something to pay attention, and I will pay attention to it on the charts. So yeah. So let's start on Monday. We already know that there's no news here, at least red folder news. So I'm just going to be proceeding with price action. I'm not going to be concerning myself with anything else other than what is happening on the chart. And that's what I did. So as you can see, I'm waiting for a 3 a.m. to reach for me to actually check what I'll be deciding on what I'll be doing. So up to here, you can already say that I've put a couple of lines here. I have my previous day high, which was the Friday high, and then the Friday low, and then I have this weekly weekly low. This previous day high, the Friday high, it was also the high for this particular week. I think Monday was right. Monday was right here. So if Monday is right here, actually let me increase this. Yeah, that's better. So this was Monday. So you had this previous week low here and the previous week high, which was set on Monday. Okay, so coming to the session, I'll be still waiting here because I've not yet made my decision. I'm still waiting. Now here, I would prefer to see a fair value gap. I didn't want to see this candle touch this week over here, the low of this candle. Expecting to I was expecting to see a continuation because of this move over here. Because if you're going to change structure for me, change of structure is up here as of now. So my anticipation here was to see a continuation. Now, for me to see a continuation, I prefer to see a fair value gap forming between this low of this candle and the high of this candle. But when this happened, that means I was still waiting. I had more time to wait. So I was still waiting and waiting and waiting. Now here is where I wanted to enter because now we had this retracement over here, and then the market crashed all the way down with a fair value gap over here, right? This is a fair value gap. You have this fair value gap, you have this fair value gap. Now with dollar, it prefer usually to go to these order blocks up here, right? So for me, that was already a trade setup, and that is what I did. That was my trade one. Now to set up the projection, we had 2.5 here. I usually prefer to take off of full this -2 projection rather than waiting for the 2.5. I think it's just something that I have seen it works for me. So yeah, so that was my take profit. So yeah, so after that it was just a waiting game for to see if price will actually go retrace all the way up here and trigger me. Even though another level that I had in mind was this one here, previous week low. Like this was a place after this was taken, and then I see signs of continuation. I was thinking the price is more likely to continue to this previous week low before it can continue all the way up. But yeah, because it's also Monday and there's no news, I was thinking maybe this will be taken out on Tuesday. So that's why I decided to just take off the out of I like to take my profit on this level. So let's see. So the price started retracing, and there I was indeed triggered right there. Now the other thing that I've noticed with these type of entries, price will not trigger you in trading view. Like if you're doing a trading view paper trade, it will not trigger you like this. It has to retrace deep and then it will trigger you. So you have to pay attention to that. Like paper trade on here, it will not trigger you, but on your broker, it will trigger you. So yeah. So I was triggered here at 5:45 a.m. And again, there was no news on this day, so I was confident to hold the trade. As you can see, price moved, trace, and then boom, I was out. So this trade for me, I categorize this as a London session, even though we almost entered into the New York. Like this 7 a.m. is technically a New York open for Forex, but I don't know because my New York open is 9 a.m. I usually still consider this as a London session because also the setup was during London session. So yeah. So after that, I sat and then I waited. So now coming into the New York session, seeing this, my head was again this on New York session, we anticipated continuation. Now also the fact that we had this thing down here, this also told me that after seeing this now was my next level. And I was already eyeing on that level anyways. So yeah, that's why for me it was I don't want to say it was a definite thing because I don't believe there's anything definite in trading, but yeah, it was now kind of like another confluence, another reason for me to take a trade. So coming to the New York session, I was anticipating a continuation down. So yeah, I sat here and I waited for 9 a.m. to see what will happen. So once we reached 9 a.m. and we did not touch here, I just placed my trade. And again, this trade was 1 to 3. Why is it 1 to 3 while I'm looking for this level down here? same reasons again came into mind that this is Monday. We've already taken this previous day low. And again, even though I was sure that this level will be taken, I did not want to take a chance. So that's why I just decided to leave it at 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is my preferred take profits site anyway. So the reason why I'm taking this trade is because of uh this move down here, right? This move down here and he told me that the price is more likely to continue lower than to reverse based on what I have seen. So this trade was a continuation during London session. This trade is also a continuation during New York session. So as you can see, price did trigger me in, right, which was good. And then here, before it came all the way down, price was just playing here, and then it started to reverse to move higher and higher, of which it was not good. Um, yeah, the price continued to move. It went into a drawdown. After this, I don't think I was at the chart. I think I was already asleep or doing something because in East African time, this is very late. But as you can see, price continued to move, it continued to move, it continued to move, it continued to move. Eventually, the take profit was hit. So I had two trades on Monday. One was the 4.93 and the other one was 3%. So just in Monday, 4.93%, and I had a 3% trade. Just on Monday, I had 7.93%. Now, this is not usual. I usually don't take any trades on Monday, but yeah, sometimes, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know there's that bias where I don't trade on Monday, I don't trade on Friday. It's fine, but I always feel like showing up also is part of trading. Like, just showing up and see if the market will give you something or if the market won't give you something. It's important for me with my strategy to show up. Because yes, most of the time I don't get any trades on Monday. Monday is pretty dead, but sometimes the market will give you 7%, 7.9%, which is essentially 8% in a single day. So yeah, that was Monday. Now let's see what the price continue to do, especially on Tuesday. I need to adjust these levels. We can stay low here. And we have we stay high up there. Now coming here on Tuesday, first of all, we had this. I think this will be a problem. Coming here on Tuesday, a couple of things uh were to be observed. Number one, we had this move, right? Uh, we had this low that was taken out, and then these highs taken out. Now, from there by itself, you can see that there's a probability that the market might want to continue to move to the upside, right? We have these lows taken out, the lows taken out down there. This line is too thick, man. And then we had this kind of like a market structure shift down up here. Now, when I saw this, I saw that the market is more likely to push to the upside. But now push to the upside to where? I looked at the price action. Again, we had these moves, and then we had this fair value gap over here. We had this. order block over here that was not traded into. So now it's areas like this that usually grab my attention, and I tend to focus on them. So this was my area of focus during London session. So now I know that price is more likely to go up than to go down. So I'm going to be trading a continuation in the sense of this move that price has already shown signs of going up prior to the trading session. So that's a continuation trade to the upside. So coming to the London session at 3 a.m., as you can see, before 3 a.m., this move happened. And then this move happened. There was no fair value gap because if there was a fair value gap here, and plus also the target was reached. So I was not in a trade here. I was just waiting and waited and waited and waited and waited. And pretty much there was no any there was no there was nothing here from that made me want to take a trade. So there was no trade here. I continue to wait and wait. So now here, by my rules, I can't do anything until 9 a.m. So I will just allow price to move and move and move and move and move. And price did move until we reach 9 a.m. So again, we have this huge impulsive move to the downside to where? To the previous week low. So we took out the previous day low and we also took this low. So that's why again I said that this level here was a significant level for me, but I did not have the courage to sit and wait until this level would have been taken because Monday to Tuesday 9:45 a.m. It's too long. It's too long for me. So again, price moved. So now here again, you can see that the price did give me a fair value gap to take a continuation trade. But why did I not take a continuation trade? I did not want to take a continuation trade here. Neither did I. I did not want to take continuation trade here because we're continuing to what? Like my biggest level was the previous week low. That has already been taken. So yes, price action might be showing signs of continuation with this fair value gap according to the rules that I'm trading, but it's continuing to what? If we had another level down here, maybe, but there's no other level for me. So that's why for me, I did not feel like this would be the right trade to take. So I waited. We had this move to the downside. Now I would have taken this trade now if we got if it made a fair value gap. I would have taken this. But we didn't get the fair value gap. Instead, what do we get? We are getting this move, right? Taking the lows, market just a shift right there. Now, this was now interesting to me because number one, we've taken this level of significant, this point of interest, and now we're showing signs of reversing. So for me, that was a very easy trade, and I took it. I took this trade again for uh I took this trade for a 1 to 3, right? Even though yes, I was looking for this level to be taken, but yeah, I still took it for 1 to 3. Right now I'm confident in this level, so that's why all my trades, like if it hits 1 to 3, I'm done. I'm willing to close my trades once that is taken. And as you can see, I was triggered here and I allowed price to move. Price was playing around this area and then it came down to my entry and into some drawdown. We played on this level for a very long time. And I even left the trade. Again, it was late at night for me. So I left the trade. But as you can see, it went into a very deep drawdown, and I really don't like this. But then again, part of my rule is to allow take profit or break even unless otherwise we have a swing formation above or below the direction of my trade. So yeah, this price went and went and went. I think this will take profit. Yeah, during Asia session. Yeah, so that was Tuesday, trade number 3. So now we only have one trade, which was actually on Thursday. Now coming to Wednesday, remember we have news on Wednesday. We have core CPI on dollar right here, right? We have core CPI here. So whatever I'm doing, every trade has to be closed 15 minutes prior to 8:30. So that means 8:15 or 8 sharp, I have to close all my trades according to the rules. So on Wednesday, there was no trade. Um, Let me adjust these lines again. We have a previous day low down here. And then we have the previous day high up here. So as you can see, price already went all the way up and took a previous day high, and it was coming down. Now, essentially here, I wasn't so sure about what price was planning to do because again, previous day high is a very important level for me, and once that is taken, I usually look for a reversal. So in this area right here, I am looking for reversal. I'm not looking for continuation. So I just sat there and I waited. I was actually anticipating a move to the upside than this. So this for me will be a market structure shift that opens an opportunity for me to trade. So I sat and I waited, I waited, and we got this move, right? We did get this move here, up where you can see that price did sweep these highs, and then it came and it took out these lows to form a market structure shift. But then again, there was no fair value gap. Fair value gap is very important to me. And as you can see, price continue to move to like move in a consolidation around this area. And again, we went and we took out these highs. And then we started seeing these moves prior to the news event. Now here, there was this fair value gap here. If there was no news, I would have probably I would have taken that trade. But because of news, I decided to let it go. And as you can see, this is a bit painful, by the way. That would have also been a very nice trade. 5%. But the only thing I don't like about this trade, and even if I think if there was no news, I would still have not taken this trade for the reason that I would have wanted first this to be taken out because I didn't count this move. I didn't see any break of market structure on this move to the downside. Yes, it did take out the highs or sweep the highs. Yes, it did show momentum to the downside, leaving these fair value areas of imbalance here. But because all that was done prior to sweeping or taking out this low, which for me it would have been a market structure shift, I didn't think that was a right trade to take. So yeah, the idea of looking for sales from here, it was right, but the market did not provide an opportunity for me to enter. Thus, I did not take any trades on Wednesday. So yeah, that was Wednesday. Nothing much here. Now coming to Thursday. This is the day now that I took the break-even trade. Thursday was again another tricky day because we had three news. We had 8:15 on Euro, we had 8:30 on US dollar, and then we had the conference on Euro again. So it was also like again I will be supposed to close all my trade at 8 sharp. I cannot hold anything prior to that, after that. So again on Thursday, looking at how the market was moving, I was looking for to trade shorts down to this level over here, simply because price had already come up and retraced into this order block down here, up here, right? And then price had already taken out this low over here, leaving an area of imbalance here, right? So I was waiting actually to take the trade off of, I think it was this, yeah, it was this candle. So this was the area where I was waiting price to retrace to for me to enter and take this trade. But as you can see, price was moving without me. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I had a brain fog there. Yeah, so I was wondering like why, yeah, no, I didn't take this trade. And the reason why I didn't take this trade was because of the scandal over here. Once this candle came all the way up and made a swing high, and we had this momentum down, and we had this third candle forming a fair value gap. This trade for me was already invalid. This trade for me was already invalid, hence I closed it. So after we got this fair value gap, this trade was invalidated and I closed it. So after closing it, then again we started seeing this move to the upside. We started seeing this move to the upside. I was observing it. And then now, because we took out, yeah, this was not a previous day low, but it was also a swing point down here. We took out the swing low down here. We made this market structure shift over here, right? And then after that, we had this order block here. Sorry, I'm trying to do everything out of memory, so that's why sometimes it's a bit foggy, but yeah, so and the target here was here. Um, I was targeting at least this area up here. Even though ideally I would want to take out this previous day high because the price usually takes out one side. It either takes out a previous day low and continue in that direction, or it takes previous day high and continue with that direction. But to just range in between the previous day high and previous day low, it's very rare. It's very rare. Or to take a previous day high and previous day low in the same day, it happens, but it's in terms of number, it doesn't happen that much, that often. So if I see something like this, I'll prefer for a previous day high to be taken and price to continue from that direction. But again, because of the time, because of the news events that we had, the red folder news, I was not confident to hold. So that's why, yeah, I was anticipating to just take up to here and leave it. So as you can see, the market came and it did trigger me in. But at this point, it was also really late already because my trade was supposed to be closed by then. Now, what did the market do? The market moved and it moved and it moved. It started going up into my direction. It started to play around, and then right there, right there on the 445, that's where I decided to close my trade. And the reason of closing the trade was at 7:45, you only have one candle, which is the 8 o'clock candle. And after that, you have the news at 8:15. You have another news in the next 15 minutes. You have another red folder news in the 15 minutes. I didn't want to risk it, and I didn't want to. After seeing this huge candle, I did not want for the 8 o'clock to reach, 8 a.m. to reach and just close me down in a drawdown. So I decided to close right there on the break even. So I took nothing out of this trade, even though this trade would have played out with the news, right? As you can see with the news, this trade actually did play out and it actually went all the way up to take the previous day high. But yeah, I got out of this trade with a break even and I don't regret it. I'll do the same thing again and again and again. I don't trust moves that are made with news. So yeah, no, this was a break even trade. So that was the trade number 4 for the week. We had 3 wins and we had one break even on Thursday. And then again on Friday, Friday was a very boring day. There was nothing much here. We had that one news over here, which was the Michigan consumer sentiment. Other than that, there was nothing here. So again, once seeing this, yes, I would be looking for a continuation to the downside, but here it's a bit tricky now for the reasons that I'll give. Number one, we had already retraced to the upside and we broke this low over here. And number two, we are seeing this change in the state of delivery happening right here. So for me, coming into this session, I would not be looking forward to taking any trades, but I'll be observing what will the market do. Will the market continue to push all the way up, right? Will the market continue to push all the way up and take out this level to give me that reversal trade to the upside? Or will the market come, reject from this level, and give me an opportunity to maybe enter continuation trade to the downside? So here it's all about observing and not reacting to trying to pro-react and take a trade from, whatever price is doing right now. So waiting and waiting and waiting until you see scenario number one being play out where the price is continue to go all the way up and took out this level. Now for me, this tells me price is more likely to continue to the upside. Now I like these order blocks. The last order blocks here at the bottom. This is where I usually like to take my trades. Sorry, I forgot to put the levels here. So prior to this candle closing all the way up, because for me, this is candle number one, candle number one, candle number two, candle number three. leaving that fair value gap and an order block, seeking for these highs to be taken for a potential 1 to 3. And this would have been a trade that I would have been interested in taking, but as you can see, price did not come in. It continued to move all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. And at this point, I closed the trade simply because, again, it's Friday. Even though under normal circumstances, the rules that I have, again, as long as this level will be triggered prior to 9 a.m., it's a valid trade. The fact that it was Friday, the fact that news was coming at 10 a.m., I did not feel confident in holding in letting this trade to be triggered again. Also considering the fact that we've already taken this higher time frame point of interest, which is the previous day high, because price can just come down here and take out this low because this is an objective that price has technically fulfilled. So it was I was not very confident in holding this trade any longer after price has already taken the previous day high. So that's why I closed it. And as you can see, price never came here anyways prior to 9 a.m. So yeah. The news did not have any significant impact on euro dollar. It was very disappointing because I was actually sitting here anticipating to see something, but nothing happened. So my rules of trading news is to trade after the news and see what the market is doing. So after this 15-minute candle, which is the news candle, has already happened, what I tend to do is I tend to follow again the market. What is the market trying to do here? You know, I would trade only if price takes out this low or takes out that high. And that's how I usually trade in this situation. I would wait for price to commit into a certain direction, whether it's taking this low or taking that high. So waiting until that session ended, and this was already at 12 p.m. After 12 p.m., I usually don't do anything, especially on a Friday. So this was how my trading week ended. It was not a bad week. It was not a great week. It was an okay week. We had a good 3 trades, 7.93 on Monday, and then we had that 3% trade on Tuesday, giving us a 10.93 percent for this particular week. And the strategy has been consistent in the sense that it doesn't give you anything less than 10% in every single week. So yeah, it has been interesting. I will be interested to see how the next week will form up and the opportunities I might get. So yeah, that's it for this week. Until next week, take care.